Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this free training on data analytics with career guidance. So in this training, we are learning Python programming and today is day 2. So what are we learning in today's session? Let me just tell you about the topics and then we'll start the session. So today, I'll be teaching you about data types. In the yesterday session, we just had a very brief discussion about data types. And we'll also see the functions which we use in this data types. Okay, all right. So what I'll do, first we'll talk about the different data types we have in Python, and then we'll open our Python and we'll work on the practical aspect. Okay, I have a lot of files today for you people, which I'll be showing you how we can start writing the programs as well. That. So first of all, in yesterday's class, we discussed about what are data types. Data types are nothing but the type of data what actually we use for, working or say writing program. Now let's see what are the different type of data types we have. Okay. In Python, data types are an essential concept as they define the type of values a variable can hold. I just told you in a very brief manner saying that it is the type of data what we actually use, in the program. Python is a dynamically typed language, meaning you don't need to declare the data type explicitly. This statement or say this sentence, I'll tell you what actually it means. When we assign a value to a variable, in other programs, we need to declare. What is the meaning of declare? We have to mention the value what we're actually using in the program, whether it is a number, text, or it is date, what kind of type it is. But here in Python, you don't have to bother about whether I should, declare that as integer or, as a number or string or any other data types. It is automatically, it'll understand the data and it'll assign a data type. That is, it'll declare the data type. So you don't have to bother about it. Okay. So it happens based on the value, whatever, we assign, automatically the Python will check and then it will declare the variables. Python offers several built-in data types. There are many built-in data types that help you to represent various kinds of information. Okay, let me show you the different data types what we have in Python. So we have numeric types. In this again, we have different types. I'll show you in the next slide. Then we have the strings. Strings are nothing but the text, the list, tuples, set, dictionaries, boolean. We have something called as none as well, and type conversion. That is from one type to another type we can convert. I'll show you how to convert the type as well. Okay, right. Let me explain about these data types. And then after this, I'll just take 5 minutes. After that, we'll go for practicals. Numeric types. Numeric type means Python supports several numeric types, which includes integer, float, then complex numbers. Okay, so integer means it is like a whole number. Floating means it's a decimal number. Complex means it is like a scientific numbers. Strings are used to represent textual data, that is the text. They can be enclosed in single quote or double quotes. So when you start a text with single quote, it should also end with single quote. If you are starting with, double quotes, it should also end with double quotes. All right. Next. List. List are nothing but here we'll have a list of values. We call it as elements. It can be combination of text, number as well, or it can have one more list as well. So they are mutable. That means we can modify it. We can modify the data which is available in the list. Don't worry. I'm just giving you a brief introduction about the data types. I'll show you how actually these data types look and how actually we can work on that. So that is what is today's class. Tuples are immutable collections similar to list. Tuples and list both are same. Only difference is list is editable. Tuples are non-editable. That's why it says immutable. That means we cannot modify it. But their elements cannot be changed after creation. That means we cannot change the elements after the creation. So if you want to do that, you have to change the data type, that is from tuples to list, do some modification, and again you can convert back that to tuples. Sets are unordered collection of unique elements. So we can have, it is similar to list, but they are something which is unordered collection of data. Dictionaries, they are again the data stored, they'll be having a pair actually. That is, it'll have a key and a value. It is like a pair, not just like a list of numbers or something. It is like a pair actually. Boolean means it is for true or false. The none type represents the absence of value. If there is no value, then by default we can make it as none. It's often used to indicate a variable that has not been assigned any value. Type conversion, as I mentioned, you can convert from one data type to another data type. Like for example, suppose if you have any string, I can convert that to integer, from integer to string, something like that. Okay, right. These are some of the fundamental data types in Python. Understanding data types is crucial for writing effective and bug-free programs. Python's dynamic typing allows you to flexibility, blah, 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 whatever is there. You can read that. I'll send you this PPT. It is saying just simple. So these are the fundamental data types what we have in Python. So you have to understand it very clearly. And Python is dynamic. That means it will assign the data type automatically. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just minimize this for some time. And I have some text files which will help you in working on the programs. I have many text files here which I'll be sharing it with you so that you can use this for practicing. Okay, first I'll open this data type. Just now we saw some data types. I'll tell you how actually you can use this. Let me go here. I'll open our Python. Jupyter Notebook, launch. Right? So new and say Python. Right. Integer. In this numeric types, we have integer, float, and complex numbers. Now, this is variable. What is variable? Variable is nothing but the name which is given to the memory location where I can pull the data. I'll say first, I have one variable num int equals 10. 10 is nothing but it's an integer number. Now, if you want to print this, I'll say print num underscore int. And if I run this, I'll get this 10. But how do I know that this is integer? For that, we have a function called as type. You can mention this type. It will give me what type of value it is, what type of data it is. Okay, let's go here. I'll say print type. Okay, num underscore int. Now, if I execute this, you can see that it says it is integer. Very simple. Now, whatever I want to print, I'm just printing here, and I'm saying type, which is nothing but the type of the variable what we have declared. Here you see, I'm not declared, manually here in the program. Automatically, it will get assigned. Now, if I go here, see, let me write the same program here. Next. Let me type Okay. Same variable, I'm just typing text. Now you just see, it says str. So you don't have to bother. Automatically, this will be assigned the data type. Now, let's go here and understand for a floating number. Float means what? Decimal number. I'm just taking this and I'll just paste it. I want to print float. Let me run this. See, saying 3.14. Same number it is printing. Now I'll say print type num float. Okay. I just want to know what type it is. See, it is float. Similarly, suppose if you want to know whether it's a complex number, there's something like a scientific number. Let me just take this. So now I'll not type and waste time. I'll just paste the same thing. You can type that. So if you want to print that, I can just take this. Okay, I'm not typing it so that we can save some time. I'll just type. So you can see that I'm getting this number, and here it says the data type. So if you want to know what type of data type it is, you can just type. You can use this type, and then you can get string. Just now I showed you about the string. So I'll just go here, copy this. I'll put it here. People, I'm just copying and pasting because I don't want to waste time in typing. If you want, you can sit and type while practicing. I'm just explaining you this. Okay. Right. So my string equals hello world. This is nothing but the text. And you can see here, this is with double quotes, either double quotes or single quotes. Now, if I run this, see, it is saying str. Str is nothing but string. Okay. Right. List. Let me show you about this list. Let me show you what is list. List is this one. 1, 2, 3, apple, banana, anything, it can be a number, text, or combination of both. Let me run this. See, it is saying list. Let me type this tuple. Same thing. Same thing. I have this 1, 2, 3. Can you see that? List and tuple both have got same elements. These are called as elements. 1, 2, 3. All these are elements. Now, when I run this, it's saying tuple. Now, you should understand the difference between list and tuple. I told you list means it is mutable. That means it is modifiable. We can modify the contents here. Tuple is something like a read only where we cannot modify. You can see the brackets here. A list will have square brackets. Tuple will have parentheses. That is normal brackets. Let's go back. Set. Set will have the flower brackets. Let me select this. And then I'll run this. See, saying set. So it'll have flower bracket. Similar to what we have this list. List will have square brackets. Tuple will have parentheses. And the set will have flower brackets. All right, now coming to the dictionary. I was talking about dictionary. I told you that it is a pair actually. Again, this also will be enclosed with flower brackets. But you just see, I'll just copy and paste. Okay, just observe. When I'm actually preparing this dictionary, see, I have the name. I have the name for the. This is called as key and this is value. It's a pair actually. Now coming to this age, this is key, this is value. This is key and this is value. Now let me run this. See, this is dictionary. Okay, don't worry. There are more detailed examples of all the data types what we are actually now seeing. Boolean. Boolean means true or false. Now we have a condition. Say A is equal to B. And that means it will give me true or false value. That is called as Boolean. This Boolean is not only available in Python, it is available in every programming language. I'll say Boolean equals true. Now, if I run this, see, bool, or we can call it as Boolean. None. None means it is nothing but nothing, no value, nothing. Let's run this, see, none type. Next, type conversion. I told you, if you want to get some value, we can convert. Say, for example, I have this value 1, 2, 3 as a text. I want to convert this into integer. Let me go here. Now, what I'll do instead of this, we'll try to print before conversion. Okay, num str. Let's run this. See, this is printing as 1, 2, 3. Here, in this case, this is text. So what we'll do, we'll go here, we'll take this type. Okay, and we'll see num str. Let's run this. See, the beginning here, it is string. That means it is text. After I'm converting, how do I convert? I'll say int. Let me give an example for you on this conversion. Okay. Now you just see, I have a question for you all. Okay. Let me just write some program. I'll say A equals 10, B is equal to 20. Okay. And I'll say print A plus B. If I execute this, what will be my result? I want people to answer. What will be my result? Quickly, you should answer. Kushal says 30, very good. Sony Babu says 30, very good. Only 2 of you. Santosh, 30. Good. Very good. So it's a very simple question. Let me run this and see what answer I'll get. Let me run this. I'm getting 30. Good. All of you are right. Next. This 10, whatever is there, we can actually get as an input. Let me copy this. I'll put it here. Let me write one program. Okay. I'll say input. Like what we have this print. Similarly, I have something called as input. Now don't type, all of you stop typing. I'll ask you one more question. Say enter name. Okay. Then I'll say print. Yeah. If I execute this, it will ask for the name. I'll say. Now if I say enter, it will give me the results. That is print. First it will input and then it will ask for the input and then it will print. Now I'll take the same program and then I will paste it here. Instead of this 10, let's take the value from say Python itself. Let's say input, enter, first value. The next, I'll take the same thing and here I'll say enter, second value. Okay. Now let me run this. Now run this, I'll give 10 and 20. Now what will be my result? If I say enter, I'll get the result. What will be my result? Now you tell me. Quickly, I want the answer. Sony Babu says 30. Kushal says 30. Yes, quickly, all of you. All right, so all of you are saying it as 30. Let me press enter and see what happens. What is the result I'm getting? 10 and 20. That is 1020. Do you think this is right, people? Is it right? Let's see what is the problem. The problem is when I'm actually using this input and I'm taking the value, this 10, whatever I given, that will be as string. Okay, right. So many of you now you're saying that it is considered as in string. It is correct actually. This will be considered as string. So when I'm actually using this plus, that means it is concatenating. It is not adding the value. So what should I do? Let me take the same program here, and what I'll do, I'll say int close bracket, and here I'll say close bracket. Here we'll say int open bracket close bracket. So this is called as type conversion. Okay. So people who knows, it's good. People who doesn't know, please try to understand. If you're actually using this, we need to be very careful. That's why we're getting this result as 20, 10 and 20. Now let me run this. I'll say 10, 20. Now I'll get the result as that. So this type conversion, I just gave an example because when it is taking the value, it will be like a string. We have to convert that as integer and then we need to add the value. So these are some of the data types what we have in Python. Okay, right. Let me close this notepad. Then we'll go here. We'll take one by one. Okay. Now I'm taking this one by one. Okay. The number data type has got integer, float, and complex number. We just saw, and we also saw some examples how actually these integer, float, and complex data type will be covered. Now, what we'll do, we'll see what are the functions we can have in Python on numbers. Right. We can see there are various different functions I have listed down here for practicing. Okay. I will just work on this one by one. First is we have apps. So what is apps? App is nothing but converting a negative number into positive number. Negative number into positive number. You can see that example, it is minus 45. Okay. We can change this to plus 45. Let's see. Okay. Let me just take one variable here. I'll just say a equals minus 45. I'll take the same number. Print abs of a. That's all. Just say abs. ABS. It is nothing but absolute. Okay. Now let me execute this. See, I'm getting plus 45. It is positive number. Right. Next. Division mod. Suppose I want the division as well as the mod. Mod is nothing but the modulus operator, what we saw that percentage. Similarly, suppose if you think that I want to get the remainder as well as the quotient both together, then I can use this div mod, division and modulus, that is mod function. Okay, let's say a equals 17, b equals 3. Now I'll say div mod a comma b. Print, you can go here, say print, or directly we can give that div mod as well. Go here, I'll say run. See, 5 is the quotient, 2 is the remainder. 3 into 5, 15, and 2 is the remainder. Right. Similarly, we have something called as sum, then len, maximum, minimum. Let me take one list of values. Okay. And then I want to get the total of these numbers. It's a total equals sum of, say, numbers. So what we have, this variable I've taken, same thing I'll say, sum of numbers. Now, if you want to print that, say print total. Let me run this. See, 15, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Right? Okay. Suppose if you want to get max and minimum of the value, let me take this list itself. Okay, I'm just taking the same list. We'll use it for all the other functions. I have my list. Here I'll say max num. Okay, equals max of my list. Then let's say min num. Okay, min of my list. Let's say I want to get len. Len is nothing but the number of elements in this particular list. Len of my list. Okay. If you want to print, you can say print max. Okay, you can type the text like this. Say max num. Let me copy this. Okay, so this is min, and I'll say len. Here we'll say min and okay. Let me run this. Run this. See, maximum is 50, minimum is 10, and number of elements here is okay. Good. Right. So we understood about sum, len, max, and min. There is something called as round. What is round? Round will actually round the decimal numbers. Let's see. Go here. We'll say a equals 10 point. I'll use some number, the decimal numbers. Right? Say print round of a, comma, I'll say 2. 2 decimals, round it to the 2 decimals, say 10.35. Now let me change this to 1. Run this, see, 10.3. If this was 7, see, 10.4. Suppose if I don't mention anything, see, this will round here to the integer value. Let me make it as 7 and run this, see, this will become 11. Like, so the number from 1 to 4, that will be like the same number, it will not increase. If I say from 5 to 9, the number will increase. It will go to the next one. Right? Okay, this is round. Next, what we have is the functions which are available in some libraries. Now, we understood these are all some default functions what we have in Python. Now, let's learn about some functions which are available in various other libraries as well. Sometimes we might have to do some calculation, but we don't have that function in by default in Python. So what we have to do, we have to import some library. Now, what is a library? Let me tell you. Library is a module where we'll have a predefined or already available functions. There'll be some functions. We're just calling those functions. Suppose if you go to Excel, we have something called as library. Let me open Excel. Okay, I'll show you what are libraries so that you'll get an idea. If you go to this Excel, see if you go to this formulas, we have something called as function library. This library is nothing but collection of so many functions. Here you can see there are so many functions. Suppose I want to sum, I'll say sum. This is a function which is available in this library. If you go to this, financial, I think it should be in financial. Now somewhere we'll have this mathematical. Let's check. Yes, sum. See, we have this sum. So here we have in mathematical, math and trigonometrical calculation, we have this sum. Likewise, we have a library called as math, which will include some mathematical calculations. How to use this, let me tell you. Let's go here and I'll say import math. Only once you'll have to do. Again and again, you don't have to do. Let me run this. Now, whatever functions are available in math library, I can get those functions. How? Let's say, for example, I want ceiling. Ceil we have in Excel as well. Ceil means round to the next number, that is highest value. Let me take one number. Let me go here. I'll say A equals 100. Print. Now I have to mention the library name as well as the function name. And I'll say, see, you go here, I'm mentioning this Ceil and then the value. Let me execute this. See, Ceil means the next number, the highest value. Similarly, I have floor. So what is floor? Let's go here. Floor will round to the lower value. So it will be 100. Right? F abs, factorial abs. This again is very similar to what we have abs. That is, we just worked on abs here. Negative number to positive number. Let me take the same value. Go here. This time I'll say F abs math dot. Let me execute. See, it'll give me the same what we have. Same thing we get here. Sorry. This is factorial ma'am, where we have this decimal. All right, mod f. Now suppose, let's say I'll take the same value, that is with the decimal number. Put it here, math, and I'll say mod f. Now you see, it will be separated. The number will be separated with the integer and the decimal number. Right? So if you want to separate your integer and decimal number separately, then we can use this mod f. Right? So, next, power of. Power means 2 to the power of 3 or something. What we use, same thing we have in Python as well. Say a equals 2, b equals 3. Now I'll say print power of a comma b. Let me execute this. See, I'll get this 8. Square root. Suppose if you think you want to find square root of a number, say a equals 100. Print sqrt, and I'll say a. Square root is, sorry, square root of a. Run this. Sorry, I should mention math. Sorry. Run this. See, I'll get 10. Random numbers. Suppose I want to generate random numbers, then I should use a library called as random. Import random. Okay, like what for this math, similarly I have to use random here. I have a function itself called as random, which will generate a random number. Okay, let's say I'll go here. I'll say print random dot random. No parameter, just say random dot random. I will execute this here. I'll get one random number. Let me run again. See, I'm getting random number as and when I execute this particular program. Right, we have something called as rand range. Rand range means from one range to another range, I can generate a random number. Say, let me take the same thing. Here I'll say rand range. Okay, rand range, and here I'll try to mention from 1 to 100. Okay, let me execute this. See, I'm getting some number here, 1 to 100, any number. You keep executing, it will generate some number. Suppose I want to generate only odd numbers. I'm saying 2 here. So it will skip the value. Now you just try to generate, it will give me only odd numbers. Suppose I make this as 0, and if I run this, I'll get only even numbers now. See? Like this. So likewise, I can plan accordingly. Suppose if you think I want to get some random numbers, I can use this. So these are the functions what we have for numbers. Okay, right. Let me close this. So the data type numbers, we can use all these functions whenever we are writing some program. And if you want to use some functions, we can use these functions, right? Okay, next. The next what we have is string. String means text. If you want to work on text, for example, let's say I have a name. Let's take this itself as a name. This is my string. Let me close this. Okay, so this is my string. I want to convert this into capital letters. So what I'll do, I will just apply the formula, or so here we call it as function, not formula. Say upper. Whatever string I have, for that I'm just trying to apply the function upper. Suppose if you want to make that as lowercase, I'll say lower. This is what we have in Excel as well, upper and lower. But if you think I want to change this to title case, when I say title case, we have, the string here. We can make it as title. Say title case means the first letter will be title. Capitalize. All the first characters will be capitalized. Swap case. Suppose if I have the case, say for example, if it is uppercase, it will change to lowercase. If it is lowercase, it will change to uppercase. Let's work on this. Say I have this string. Let's say print upper. Okay. str dot upper. Open bracket, close bracket. Let me run this. See, this will give me the uppercase. Let's go here and say print. I'll say lower. String dot lower, open bracket, close bracket. Print. Next, we have this title. Say title. Go here str dot title. Open bracket, close bracket. Let me run this. See, all the first character of a word will be title. That is, it is making each character as capital letters. We have similarly capitalize. Print capitalize. Okay, you should be careful with the spelling. Just copy this. Sometimes you might make mistake. I'll just type. If I get error, then I'll copy and paste. Let me run this. See, good, no mistake. So here the first letter will be capital, and then rest all will be small letters. Swap case. Swap case means we're just trying to swap from uppercase to lowercase, from lowercase to uppercase. Print, I'll say swap case. Okay, comma str dot swap case. I will execute this thing. I'm getting all caps here because here I have all small letters. Let me change this. This one as capital letters, and this one as uppercase. Because randomly I'm just changing all this. Okay, now let me run this. See, here I can see T. In this case, it is capital. Here it becomes small letters. O, here it is small letter. Here it is capital letter. But if you see this upper, always it will change the values to uppercase. This is lowercase, and here I'll have all the first character as caps. Capitalized means the first character will be capital. Rest all will be small letters. Right? Okay. This is to change the case. When we have this text, we are applying some function. So this is we are trying to convert that into, different cases. All right. Next, what we have is to find a character or a word and to find the number of characters in that particular string. Let's take the same string. Okay. Take this one only. Let me add this. Len. Len is used to find the number of characters. We saw that, in one of the functions there to find the list, the number of elements in the list. Print and say len of string. Mention len. Okay. Come. I'll run this. See, there are 32 characters. Right. Next, print. We'll try to find a character. Find is used to find a character, and then we get the position of that particular character. Right? Okay. Let's say we'll try to find okay, str dot find, and we'll try to find what? Small letter. Okay, small letter I. Let me run this. I is in second position. Now you might be thinking it is in third position. How come it is 2? Let me tell you, in Python, the index starts from 0. Say 0, 1, 2. This is 2. Let me type, say, I want to find example. See, run this. It is starting from 15th index. Right? Okay. Let me tell you one more formula, that is index. When I run this index, say small letter. So all the functions should be in small letters. So please be very careful. I did a mistake by giving I as caps. Index and find both are same. It will give me the same result. Now if I go here and type I here and say run, you got the 2 here also, I'll get 2. What is the difference between index and find? Let me tell you. I'll try to find a character Z. Okay. If I run this, you can see I'm getting -1 if it is not found in find, but in index, it will throw error if the string is not found. So you should be very careful. If you think you want to use find, please use find. If you are not, if you think that the character, what I'm searching is not there, or you have a doubt, please use find. So that you'll get -1. -1 means the value which you're looking for is not available. Right. Now, similarly, let's say I'll change this to example. Similarly, we have something called as rfind and rindex. Rfind, rindex. What is that? Let me tell you. Say, usually what happened, the search will always happen from left side. But in Python, we also have from right side what we can search. Let me run this. See, example, it is coming here, it will search here. But what I'll do, I'll try to search for I. Okay, everywhere I'll just change this to I. Now you see, I'm just trying to find I. And if I run this, see, here it is 2. But when it is searching from right side, it is searching here. And this will give me 11. So likewise, we can use this index and find. Okay, all right. Next one, we have count. Count is actually used for searching for a character. And it will say how many times that character or a word is repeating. Okay, now you just see, I'll take this same text and here I want to use count. I'll say print str dot count and I'll say I want to search I. How many times I is available in this statement? Run this. 1, 2, 3. 3 times it is repeating. I want to count how many times IS is repeating. I'll say run, say 2 times. 1 and 2. All right, how many times E is repeating? Say E, say 2 times. Likewise, we can use this count for counting the number of times the character is repeating. All right, next. These are all the functions, that is text functions. Next, padding. We know that padding means you're trying to add some characters. For example, let's say I'll take one text. Okay, here I have one text. I want to add some character, that is, I want to make this equivalent to 60 characters. So what I'll do, I'll add star to justify. Okay. So here, when I say justification, I can justify left side, R right side, and I can make it center. L just left justification, R just right justification, and center. Now what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll say print str dot L just. How many characters I need? Say 60 characters. Out of 60 characters, I'll say if at all I don't have 60 characters here, add a star to the left hand side. Same thing, I'll say R just. Go here and here I'll say R just. What is R just? R just means right side, that is right justification. If you want it to be center, okay, so it will align that in the center and then it will give me the stars both the side so that it will be 60 characters. Run this. See, this is left justification, that is left side it is justifying and it will add all the stars the left hand side, so the right hand side, so that it will justify left side. R justification, that means it is justifying right side from here and then we'll get the stars towards my left hand side. So don't get confused. L just right, left side justification, it will align to 60 characters here. Same thing it is doing for this. And here we have center, that is it will try to align, both the sides. All right. Apart from this, we have something called as Z fill. Z fill is nothing but it will fill zeros. Let me show you. Print str dot Z fill. You have to just mention how many characters it has to be equivalent. Let me run this. See, it will always right justify and the left hand side it will give me the number of zeros to make it 60 characters total. Let me make it as 50 and see. Okay, only that means we have 47 characters. Okay, so likewise we can actually use these justification, that is we can pad the values so that we can justify according to the number of characters I need. Done. Next, strip. Strip is equivalent to trim in Excel. Okay, now before I go to the strip, let me just refresh because I think people are getting bored. How are you feeling, people? Is it good? You are able to understand something? Is it easy to learn? I'm sorry, I just kept going. I know a lot of things to work on here. So we'll take 2 minutes break. How are you feeling? Is it boring? Interesting? If you find interesting, just message interesting. Feeling good? Okay. Good. Good. I know this is a very dry subject, but still you'll have to understand. Good. Right. So let's continue. So I just wanted to take 2 minutes break so that you guys know, I want to know whether you guys are attentive or not. Good that you people are finding it interesting. Very good. Right. Next, strip. Strip means you're trying to trim the values. That is, remove the values. Let's take the string. Okay. I'm just taking the string. Now I need to remove this left side or right side or both the side. So we have something called as strip. Strip strip will remove both the sides without mentioning left side or right side. If you want to remove left side or right side, I'll use this R and L. Let's try this. Say print str dot strip and I'll give star. If we run this, see stars are removed. Next, L strip. You also have R strip. Okay, let me run this. See, this is it is removing all the stars. Here it is removing the stars from left side, and this is from right side. Like you can also remove space by using this, like this. If you're not mentioning anything, that means it is removing this space from right hand side or left hand side. You can also use this strip and you can give, nothing so that it will help me to remove the spaces, unwanted spaces in the text. Right. Next, after this, we can also have maximum and minimum for characters. Okay, let's try this. Maximum and minimum. Like what we have this numbers, similarly, we can get the maximum and minimum for characters as well. Let's see. I'll just take the string. Right. So here, we'll see what is the maximum value in this particular statement. Okay. And we'll also see the minimum value. Print max of string. Let me make same thing for minimum as well. str. Okay. Let's run this. Maximum is y. Minimum, it is giving me the space. Let me give some dot. I think space is the lowest value. What we'll do, I'll not use this minimum here. Let this be. And here we'll take for minimum, we'll take without space some characters. I think it should be there. Yes, it is there. Let me take this. Okay. So here I'll say print min of string. Let me run this. See, here is the smallest value, the minimum value. All right. Next. The next one, what we have is split. Split means we are able to split the characters. based on the delimiter what I specify. Okay, what is that? Let me tell you. In Excel, we have text to columns where we can give the string, the delimiter, and then we can separate the data. So here, what we can do is we can give this split and we can give the character. Let me take this string. And I need to split wherever I have this space. So for this, I'll give split and then space here like this. Print str dot split, open bracket, close bracket. Let's run this. See, wherever I have this space, you can see that the data has been split. And this is the list actually. Suppose if I give I, let's go here and I'll say print and I'll say I. Wherever we find this I, the data should get split. See, here I is the value. Wherever you see this I, there will get the elements like this. Right. Suppose I have the next line character like this. And if you want to split based on the next line, so here we'll go and we'll say run this. See, wherever I have this slash n, it's nothing but wherever I have this next line, so that will get splitted like this. Likewise, we can actually use this split to separate the data. Okay. Right. Next, join characters. Let's say I have one list here like this. Let's call it a sequence. I want to join with some character. That is, we have this hyphen or something. So what we'll do, we'll go here. I will try to join the character. Let's say the delimiter or the join, whatever we want to do. Say I want hyphen. And I'll say LST equals. I will take this one. I'll just, instead of typing, I'll just copy this. And I'll put it here. Here, let's say print s dot join to this list. S is nothing but this character. Join with this list. I will execute. See, A hyphen B hyphen C. If you think I want this to be like semicolon, colon, or whatever, see, it will join like this. So likewise, we can use this join for joining the characters. Replace. In Excel also we have this replace. Suppose if you think I want to replace some characters, I can use this replace. Let's go here. I'm just typing one statement here. And then I want to replace wherever I have this is, that should get changed to was. I'll say replace is with was run. See, wherever I have this is, that will be was. Here is, see. Right, so these are the string functions. We have many string functions here. Apart from this, we have something called as information formulas. What are this? Say, for example, I want to check whether this statement or say this sentence is uppercase or not, lowercase or not, title case or not. So what I'll do, instead of typing, just copy this. Let me just copy this. Okay. And I'll put it in. Here it says print is upper. Is upper means whether it is upper or not. We have is lower. I'm just taking this. I'm just pasting here. Is title, whether it is title case or not. That's a title case. The first character should be caps, all the values here. Then is title. Let me run this. All are false. Let's make it true. I'll take all caps. And if I change this string, run this, you can see this is all small. Let me take small characters here and I'll paste it. Now, if I run this, see, this is for the second one. is title. So here I have the example. Copy this, paste it. I S E 1 6. Okay. Similarly, I have various different formulas like this. The E space. To think there is some space here, it will give me true. E is alpha, that is alphabet with numbers. So this is alpha, not alphanumeric. This is alpha. Alpha means only alphabets. It is checking whether it is text. In Excel, we have this is text. Similarly, this one is alpha. We have is alphanumeric. This is alphanumeric. And we have this number, digit. These two are same. It will check whether it is number or not. Okay. So I'll be giving you this notepad. You can just go through this. We have the text also, your explanation also here you can understand. Okay. Is decimal. If you have any decimal numbers, it will give me true. Otherwise, it will throw. Yeah. Okay. Right. Next. So these are some of the information formats. All right. Okay. So this is about the string functions. Right. Next one. Next one is we have something called as list. So we finished numbers and string. Now let's go to this list. List is nothing but it is a list of values. We call it as elements. The list can be text with the numbers, only numbers, or it can be only text. Okay, let me copy all these three and I'll paste it here and I'll show you. See, this is list. I will execute this. All these three are valid. When I say valid, that means they are valid list wherein I have text, I have numbers, and I have both text as well as numbers. Right? We can access the values here. For that, we call it as, we can access the value, that is slicing. We can slice and we can also, extract or say pull the data by giving this index number. Index is what? This is 0, this is 1, 2, and 3. Let's see how we can access the values. What I'll do, let me just take these two. Okay. Just replace this list 2. Okay, so I have 3 lists. I want the first element, that is physics, to be displayed. So what I'll do, print list 1 and I will type square bracket and say 0. 0 is nothing but the index. Let me run this. See, index 0, 1, 2, 3, like this. Let's say I want list 1. From there, all the values. From here, all the values. See. See. Let's say list 2. From third index, say 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Or let's say from index 1, say 0, 1. From here, I want say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to this. I'll say 5. This is list 2. Let me run this. See, from here, that is index 1 up to 5th position, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm getting these values. This is called as slicing. We're just trying to pull the data. Right. Updating the list. Suppose I want to update the list. Okay. Let's go here. And I'll take this list 1. Okay. Let me copy this and I'll put it here. Here, I'll try to print list of say 0, 1, 2. Now, if I run this, list 1, see, it is 1997. I want to replace this 1997 to 2023. So I'll just have to go here, mention the list and the value. I'll say list 1 index 2 is equal to 2023. Run this. Now, if I go and check the list, print list 1 and run this, see, this got changed to 2023. Delete the list. If you want to delete, I have the list here and just mention the element. Say delete list 1. Run this. Now let me run this. See, 2023 is done. Let me say delete list 1. Run this. Now if I try to print this, it will throw error because list 1 is deleted. Now let me run this. Now again we can get this list. Right? Okay. Now we saw that indexing, slicing. So whatever we did that, by using this colon, those are all slicing. So that we can see here as well. Functions. In list, we have some functions. What is that? Let me show you. Let me take one list here. I'll just take this list and I'll paste it here. Okay. Let me run this. Now we'll apply the functions. Len. This will give me a number of characters. We have already seen this. Let's say print len of list 1 and run this. See, there are 4 elements. We can say max and min, but please keep in mind, let me just show you what will happen if I use this max and min. Say max of list 1 and I'll say print min of list 1. If I run this, it'll throw error. The reason is when I'm using this max and min, make sure that all are numbers or text. So what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll take this and then I'll paste it here. Now, if I execute this, now I'll get the result. Otherwise, you cannot mix both. So that you should keep in mind. Even sorting as well. Right. Next. The type conversion here. Okay. This will keep it as is. When you come to this tuple, we'll work on this. I'll keep this on hold for a few minutes. Index. Index means to find, I'll give one element and I need to find the index of that particular element. Let's say, for example, I'll select this list 1. I will try to execute this. Now, I have the list. I want to find the index of, let's say I want to find the index of this 1997. Say print list 1 dot index of, I'll say 1997. If I execute this, see 0, 1, 2, it'll give me the index. We have a function called as append, insert. Append and insert are actually used for inserting the data, inserting the element into the list. But let's say I have this list. I want to insert one element. So I'll go here, I'll say append. When I say append, you just see list 1 dot append and I'll say Python. And if I execute this, now if I print, okay, the list 1, and if I execute this, see, Python got added. Where it got added? In the end. When I say append, always it is like it'll it'll always add in the end. Insert means we can insert in any position. For example, I wanted to insert an element here, somewhere in the middle. Then I should use insert. If you want to insert that in the end, then go for append. If you think I want to insert somewhere in the middle, then go for insert. Let's go here. I'll say insert and name this as Excel. Okay, but I need to mention the index number. So 0, 1, and I'll say 2. Oops, sorry. Here we'll say let me take this list. Okay, let me execute this. Now let's say print list 1. See, Excel got inserted somewhere in the middle. Right. Next, we have remove and pop. Remove means I have to mention the element name. Pop means I have to mention the index number to delete. Let's go here. I'll say this is my list. Let's say list 1 equals, and I'll take this list and I'll execute this. Say list 1, I need to remove. I'll say remove 1997. Run this. Now, if I print the list, 1997 is gone. I want to delete this second index value. Then what I'll do, I'll say list 1 dot pop. Okay. If I'm not mentioning anything, okay, if I run this, let's go here and print this now. See, the last element is gone. When I use this list with pop, that means the last element will be deleted. But suppose if I go here, say 0, 1, 2, I'll say 1. And if I run this, now if I execute, see, pop without any index number, the last element will be deleted. If you want to delete some specific, element, then you can go here. I can specify the element. Okay, all right. Then we have this count. Suppose if you think I want to count, let me copy this. I want to count the number of elements. We have this number of elements that is, repeating, or say how many times it is repeating. I'll go here and I'll say print. And if I execute this, see, 1, 2, 3 is repeating twice. That is count. Extend. Now suppose I have one list. Okay, let me explain. This is my list. And second list, this is nothing but it is range of some value. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can give something like this. A list of range 5 means it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to extend. What is extend? Extend is nothing but we're just trying to add these two values, that is list 1 with list 2. List 1 dot extend. If I run this and if I print list 1 now, execute, say, this is my first list and this is my second list, which has been extended. Extend means it will be always in the end. Right. Reverse. Making the content of a list reverse. Just check this. I'll just try to reverse it and I'll print it. Let me run this. See, maths, chemistry, biology, and physics. It is reversed. It's not sorting. It is just arranging in reverse order. But there is something called a sorter. But keep in mind, if you're actually sorting, the value should be same. That is same data type. Text means text. Number means number. You cannot mix. Let me copy this and I'll paste it here. This is my list and I'm saying sort and I'm printing this. See, it is sorting according to the characters. Now let me add one number here. And if I run this thing, see, it'll either it should be only number or only text. Okay, right. Now we have one type conversion. This will work now because we have these tuples. Let me open that. We don't have much function in tuples. The reason is we cannot modify it. We cannot, update that. It will throw error. Let me show you. Say, for example, we'll take this two tuples. It's the same value what we have for list. See, tuple 1 and tuple 2. I'll run this, done. I'll try to update the values. Let's say I'll go here, tuple 1, say 0, 1, 2 equals 2023. Let me run this. See, it won't support. The reason is tuples are immutable. That means you cannot modify anything after creation. Right. So what we'll do, we'll go here and we'll see what all functions we can actually use. Similarly, what we delete and things like that, that we can do. But let's go here. We can find the length, which we have already used. We can use this length, max, minimum, exactly like what we did in list. We can do that. Okay, you can go and refer that maximum, minimum, and the length. We can use the function. Let's see how we can actually type conversion be done in tuple. Why we should do that? Suppose if you want to modify some list, so what I'll do, let's say, for example, now I try to modify this to 2023. So what I'll do, let me go here. I'll take this list. Sorry, this is tuple. Now I'll try to convert this. How to convert? I'll just say here list 1. Okay, equals list of. If I run this, now this got converted to list. Now I'll try to print list 1. See, this is the list now. Now I'll say list 1 second index will be equals to 2023. I'll run this. Now I'll say print list 1. Run this. See. Now the element got changed. Now what I'll do, I'll say tuple 1 equals tuple of list 1. If I execute this, and now if I say print tuple 1, see, it got changed. Previously, it was 1997. Now to change that, I just converted that into list, and then again I can, modify this, and then again I converted back to tuples. Likewise, we can actually convert the data type, and then we can actually modify, and again we can convert back to the tuples. So this is tuples. So we have few functions, that is max, min, and len. So please use the same function what we used for list. You can work on that. Okay, right. Let me close this. Next we have dictionary. Dictionary is nothing but, as I mentioned, it is the combination of key and values. It's completely a pair. Now, how to have this dictionary is very simple. Let me just type one for you because it might be a little confusing. I just copy and paste, but what I'll do is I'll just type and I'll show you how this dictionary actually looks so that next when I copy and paste, you'll not have any confusion. Okay. My dictionary equals open bracket, close bracket, flower bracket. Say course. Okay. Colon. This is one pair. Okay. So this is one pair like this. Next. Okay. Comma. You can use single quote or double quotes. There is no problem. Say fees 10,000. Right. Next. Branch. You see that it's a pair actually. Okay. Duration 4 months. See, this is my dictionary. Print my underscore. See, okay. I just type here so that you'll understand what is a dictionary. Right. Now, what we'll do is we'll see how we can extract the values. So here, I want to mention the key so that I'll get the value. Okay. Let me go back. Here I have the dictionary. So what I'll do is this. Okay. Print. And then I'll say course. Let me run this. See, course is spent. I'll change this to fees. Run this. See. Likewise, we can extract the data. Right. Updating. Now suppose, let me take this dictionary, okay? So that we'll use the same data what I'm having here. Just wanted to show you, that's all. Go here. I'll just run this. Now, I want to add one value, okay? School is not there. So what I'll do, I'll add this. We'll modify later. See, school is not there here. I have this name, I have this age, and I have this class. But I need to add a school, I'll say run. Now let's say print dictionary, run this, say school is there. I want to modify the age. Let's say I want to modify this age. So what I'll do, I'll just mention here and here, I'll say age equals, let's say 10. Execute it. Now let me print this. See, it was 7, it got changed to 10. So likewise, we can modify. Delete. Now you just understand. Suppose I have a dictionary. I want to delete. What all we can delete, I'll tell you. Delete, I can delete one pair, that is one element. This is one element. I can clear the entire thing, the entire dictionary. And I can delete the entire dictionary itself. Don't get confused. Let me tell you one by one. Say, first thing is, let's say delete dictionary and I'll say name. Okay. If I run this, this element is deleted. Now, if I print this dictionary, I don't have name. Next, we have this clear. Clear will clear the elements, but dictionary will still be available. See, delete. Delete. Clear. Okay, I'll just clear this. Now, if I print this, I'm having blank dictionary. That means there is no elements. But if I execute any of this, it will throw error. See, now it got added here. See, this one. If I would have try to print, then it will not run. Now, if I go and run this, see, I'll get this page. Let me clear again. Okay, suppose if you try to print, then it will not work because we don't have that particular element at all. But we can add like this, we can just mention, will get added. All right, next, deleting the entire dictionary itself. Now, if I try to print, see, it's not defined at all. Because the dictionary is deleted. All right. Next, let me just take this dictionary, create. Now we have something called as len. Len is available in all the data types. Let me print this len. Print len of dictionary. Run this. See, I have 3 elements here, 1, 2, and 3. I want the printable string representation of the dictionary. Just say str and give the dictionary name. Print. See, space. Let me I need to refresh this. Okay, we'll do this little later. And let me just refresh once. Okay. Let me okay, see, sometimes what happens, it will not be refreshed, so you get some error like this. So don't worry, if at all you get something like that, just restart. Then you'll get, see, this is a printable, that is string format. Right, suppose I want to get only the items. I have this dictionary. Just say the dictionary name dot items. Run this, see, we'll get the items here like this. This is 1, 2, 3. Suppose I want to get key and values separately. Then I can mention same thing, but I'll say key and values. Let me go here, I'll say keys. You can see that name, age, and class. I'll say I want values. Type values. Run this. See, I'll get value. Clear, we just saw that we can clear the entire thing. So we will not have the elements in the dictionary, but still dictionary will be existing. Okay. Suppose if you think I want to copy, I can use dot copy. Let me show you. Go here. Equals. We'll make it as 1. Let me copy this. Okay, I'm just trying to copy this dictionary 1. Print dictionary. So brackets. Yeah, see, I just copied. It's just making a copy of it. Okay, right. So we can actually get, the values that is from keys. Say, for example, now I have this one dictionary. We can create a new dictionary with the keys. Suppose I don't have a dictionary, I can just mention some keys here and I can keep it. So what happens in this case? So I don't have a dictionary. Say, for example, I want to create one dictionary with the keys, that is name, age, and gender. And you don't have to have any values in that. Let me say, I'll go here, I'll create one, sequence. That is one list we'll create. That is only keys. Now what I'll do, I'll create one dictionary from keys. I just go here, I will say, okay. Now say print See, I have this key value. I have none, none, none. What is none? None is nothing but I don't have any value. Remember that data type, none. That means there is no value. Okay. All right. Now what I'll do, I'll try to mention some value here. Run this. Now let me run this. See, I added 10 for all the keys here like this. So here I just mentioned from keys, I just mentioned 10. That means the value 10 is assigned to all the keys here. Right. Now suppose I have a value, but if I don't have any value when I'm printing, that means I should give some default value. Then what I'll do, I'll say get. What this get will do? It returns a value that is default key if the key is not there in the dictionary. Say for example, I'm creating one dictionary here. Okay, I'll run this. See, I have only 2 elements. Now let me go here and I'll try to get. Okay, let's say get age. Now you just see, if I say get age, you just see what result I'll get. I'll get the age as 27. For the same thing, if I go here and say get gender, okay, see, none. It is saying none. But for me, I want a default value as NA. Then what I'll do, I'll go here and I will mention this NA. So what does this mean? Instead of giving this none, so this will give me an alternative value. Run this. Sorry, pasted it twice. See, instead of none, it will give me NA. If the value is there, then it will give me the value. Let me try here. Let's say NA from this. See, it still give me 27 because age is available. If not, it will give me N. Okay. Set default. You can set the default as none. Suppose if the value is not available. Okay. Same thing like what we did here. You're just trying to do the same thing here as well. Update. Suppose if you think I want to update some value, then we can update. Let's say I'll take these 2 dictionaries and I'll execute. So dictionary 1, I have this name and age. Here I have this dictionary 2 where I have this gender. I need to update. I just have to mention the dictionary name and then say update. Let me run this. Now, dictionary 1, this has been updated. If I print this, run this, see, this will have this gender. Right? So this is about dictionary. Let me close this. We have one more thing, that is calendar. Calendar, not much functions. I'll just finish it. We need to import one library called as calendar. Okay, let me take this calendar. Import. Okay, I'll run this. Now the calendar has been imported. Now I want to print a calendar of any year. We have a function called as calendar, wherein it will help us in printing the calendar. So we have width, we have length, and we have the column space here. Let me just try that. Say P equals calendar dot calendar open bracket year, say 2023. I have the width, let's say 2, 2, and line spacing, I'll say 1. If you want, we can change it later as well. Let me print this. Print. See, we have the calendar. Let me change this to 1. Let's run this. See, column space, let me just increase this to 5. See, we are getting this calendar. Similarly, I have month. In month, you have to mention, say, calendar dot month, and we'll say 8, that is August month. And here we'll have only spacing. That's all. We don't have to give the width here, because see, you have width and this one, no column spacing. Why column spacing is not there? Because Here we have only one table now, only one, data will get. So I'll make it as one on this thing, only August. Here we are specifying column width because we have different calendars here, like that is different month here. So here it not required, only 1 month is printed. So we can use this only, say what is this, width and line spacing. Okay, right. Next, suppose if you think I want to get some year, I'll mention some year. I want to check whether it is leap year or not. Then I can use this is leap. Let me mention 2024. And if I run this, say this is leap year. Suppose if I say 23, it is not leap year, it will give me false. Okay. So likewise, we can actually use the data types and their functions in the program what we write. Okay. Right. So I'll stop here. In next session, we'll be learning about conditional statements. That is how we can use if statements, how we can actually loop. So tomorrow we'll have more and more of programs. Okay. How actually we can use this if conditions and loops so that you guys can actually start working on some programs as well. After that, we'll be learning on how actually we can work on the data. That is, we'll try to work on this matplot libraries. We'll work on pandas, okay, NumPy, and these things will work. Right? Okay. All right. So before we stop the session, okay, before we stop, close this session, how was today's session? I want 1 minute of yours. I want all of you to mention because, very less people are there today, but still very good that all of you are more interested in learning. So how was today's session? I know it was a very long session, but still, it's very important for you to work on all these functions. Right. Okay, good. Right. Thank you so much, all of you. Okay. All right. So people who are not there in the WhatsApp group, please go to this. Okay, go here. Okay, go to this course. Here we'll have this webinars. And then here we have this. Okay. And here, if you just scroll down, see, I have posted here the yesterday's data and the video. Both are there here. So please go and check. Okay. I cannot keep posting it in every places. That will be like too much work for me. So please, I request all of you, go here. I'm just sending you this link. You can download it from here. I'll just put it here. Okay, please try to understand. I cannot put in every places. It will be like too much of work for me. I'm putting that here. Okay, it will be available here. So please check that. Here we have, where is that? Yeah, see, day 1. So today I'll put day 2 with video and also whatever materials I'm using. This is a zip file. You can just go and click on this. It will get downloaded. Okay. Right. So WhatsApp group is for, whenever we get this time, I'll be keep updating on the free trainings, the schedules. So you can be in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Right, people. So see you guys tomorrow. It was a very long session, I know, but tomorrow also we'll have very good session. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, all of you. Good night. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.